Good evening, friends. Hope you all had a good Christmas. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're ready to play more Monster Train, because that's what we're doing. We're playing more Monster Train because I arbitrarily feel like doing that. So, same as normal. We're just going to do random runs, unless people have other special requests. That's not what I was trying to do. Why did that not work? There we go. Okay. So, let us jump right into it and see what happens. Thank God we didn't get Awoken Remnant again. We still have Remnant, but if we got Wilden 10 Remnant repeatedly again tonight, I would have been a little mad. Anyways, I'm happy with Echo Right. Dregs are okay. They're not great in the DLC. And they can be awkward for building up charges. Chased is not a terribly big issue. The Howl Drippings is interesting. Echo Transfer is a good start. I hate Total Recall. It's one of my least favorite cards in the game. We'll see. These are interesting picks. I do like Echo Seedling quite a bit, especially if we... I mean, like, it's great with Echo Right in general. But especially if we want to do, like, Marsh Lord. It allows us to quick hatch an egg. Or eggs. But Dun Echo, like, right off the bat is rather useful. It's a lot better for Spine Chief, since Spine Chief tends to care a lot more about having charges built up, but still good to have. I don't know. I'm having decision paralysis already. Spine Chef. How you doing, Ether? Kind of really do hate Total Recall. Like, it can be okay in the right deck, but for the most part, I find that deck is not necessary. I don't know. I'm leaning towards taking Echo Seedling. We'll just do it. We'll see how useful that ends up being. We got Repeater and Marsh Lord. We're gonna take Marsh Lord, I guess. Just had to suffer through a family karaoke, at least I'm back to my bed. Fair enough. Marker Invasion can be awkward here. It's probably fine, since the egg, as long as we can hatch it reasonably quickly, can survive taking some hits from them. Unfortunately, the Echo Transfer goes to waste here. I could have played it up top. You know what? I'm sorry. We're doing that differently, where I actually pay attention to how much capacity I have. For some reason, I didn't think I had capacity to play out the Train Steward here as well, but I definitely do. Yeah, we'll try it like that, even though you're gonna take 10. I do kill 2 of them at least this way. And then, unfortunately, I need to kill things. Yeah, so doing it this way... I need the egg to survive, is the problem. Okay, so I can't really use the other Total Recall, but I can kill the Collector this way, or I could have killed him, but I really did want the Collector. And I would love to do the Echo Transfer, but I need this thing to hatch. Because otherwise it's just going to die next turn. I mean, there's the possibility that I drew like a Howl Drippings, but I would need more than that to successfully do that. How you doing, Fury? And you're basically on time. Alright, we're just gonna kill that. Have some extra burnout. It doesn't matter. It's absolutely meaningless to us at the moment. And then luckily... No, never mind. I'm one charge short of being able to kill him, which is a shame. Well, let's kill that so we don't leak another dude, and we get our charges built up a little higher here, which is important. And then we're able to kill one of those guys. Yeah, that was unsatisfying, but we got rid of his minions, and that's really all that matters, and now he's super dead. And there we go. Alright. We took a small amount of damage, and we did somehow get the Collector, which made that pretty good. I mean, I like the Bounding Echoes. I guess we'll take a Bounding Echoes. It's a bit weird, but we'll take it. Driftfall's not bad. We could go with Reform and Reform Eggs. I hate doing that, though. But, like, we do have the Hallowed Drippings if we wanted to go that route. So we'd have Burnout Extension, which you don't necessarily need when reforming the egg, but it's useful. I think we're just taking a Dripfall, though, even though it's not infused. And we're definitely going here because getting an egg unit is super good with Martial Lord. I didn't take suboptimal choices when they were infused because infused. It depends. If you're playing Spine Chief, I think that's a much more, like, valid play. Or if you're, you know, relying on Keeper of Echoes or Shard Soul Carver. But as a general statement, like, for Echo Right, I don't think that's nearly as important. Especially when we already saw the Bounding Echoes. Hello, Bandhammer. How you doing? Okay. Well, this is an interesting option. I mean, I'm pretty sure we take the Bog Chrysalis because typically it is just the better choice. Not that Kinhost Vessel is bad, but Bog Chrysalis can be real strong. Here's some eggs. I wonder what the game is telling you. Worming is by far my worst clan by performance, and I do not enjoy their playstyle. They are by far my favorite, and probably my best. I don't know. They're just a very strong and fun clan. They have a lot of really good, useful tools. Very few bad units. Both of their champions are good and have universally good champion paths. And they have a lot of good synergies with other clans as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're taking Bog Chrysalis. I just like the idea of Kinhost Vessel. Even though we're just better off with the Chrysalis. It is just one of the best units in the game. Are they new? I don't recognize Wormkin. They're from the DLC, though the DLC has been out for a long time. Do I want Quick here? I kind of do, but the problem is that then our egg has, like, fucking garbage stats. And we're really reliant on hitting a decent infusion for it. But the Quick is quite good. Okay, I'm gonna take the large stone. What I wanted was definitely multi-strike, but I'll take the large stone. So, we don't need that. The intrinsic is gonna go on. I guess it's gonna go on the Bounding Echoes. Okay. Hello, Glacier. How you doing? Okay, so we'll do this now. That one comes down. That goes there. Actually, probably should have done this in reverse, but that's fine. Okay, so we did waste the Bounding Echoes, kind of, but it does mean that we get to hatch our dudes on turn 1. And then thank God we can still hit you. Because ideally we want to use the Bounding Echoes on, like, the Echo Transfer, but also at the moment with all of these hyped up dudes, we don't super need to worry about that. I am still going to do that just because it makes killing bosses later easier. And I'm going to separate that so we don't take as much damage from spikes. Do I want to do this? The problem is it would bring these guys down to 0 attack. But they'll still work fine. Yeah, we're not killing you, but it doesn't matter because you don't do any damage because you're not enhanced. And we don't get, like, any extra gold from killing it, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, none of this matters. It would have been nice to have played more of those, so I could have gotten more charges up here. Ta-da! Well, we'll leave it like that. I do lose a bunch of units to the spikes, but it doesn't matter when we've got several bogflies hitting for, you know, 60 damage-ish each. Yeah, I'll take the shelter, even though, again, it's not infused. Purifying Cleanse is a maybe. The Wax and Spike is kind of cute. Fatal Melting is not bad, but I tend not to take it. I do value the... I do value the sweeping spells a lot less than some other people. I was vaguely aware of it, but I either hadn't seen or didn't recall the name. That is surprising to me, but nonetheless, fair enough. Regardless, I think they're a cool clan. If you have any questions on how they function, let me know. I will elaborate. The main thing is that they have a extra resource during battles called charges, or charged echoes, that a lot of their abilities play off of. Anyways, for the infusion, Kinos Vessel's kind of cute. Wickless Baron's okay. I think we'd rather look for something else. Yeah, it's not like we have a temple here anyway, so we don't get another temple till all the way down there, which is a problem, but fine. Yeah, we definitely want to go here. We don't want to Hellvent anything yet. Ooh, Pyrestone Housing is potentially quite good. It's potentially garbage, but it's potentially quite good. Do I want to do that? It's pretty expensive. I'm not gonna do that. I will do that, though it's a little awkward. And then we're just gonna make it a little easier to do things. And what's at the next ring? we're going into the boss here. Yeah, that's fine. Let's get rid of a steward. Because they do nothing for us. Also, I should have looked at this, but I forgot that I hadn't already done so. Yeah. I'm going to take this, though it is going to make my life awkward. It's not great to have right now, but it will be useful later. Namely, eventually they'll turn into calcified embers, or excavated embers, excuse me, which are the zero cost, gain energy, draw a card, consume spells, which will be good later when we have a bogworm. And if we end up getting something like bog slime, that's what I'm trying to think of. If we get bog slime, which I always want bog slime, but if we get bog slime, they are even better. Anyways, I was really hoping for permafrost, by the way, for the bounding echoes, but alas, didn't get it. I guess I still want the weaker ones up front. Oh, I'm sorry. I did this in the wrong order. No, I didn't. I was right. I forgot that I put large stone on my dude. So I was correct in doing that. I was thinking for a moment that I could have also played out the train steward. That's not true. Okay, so, unfortunately I didn't quite hatch that one yet. Almost hatched. This is a waste of a turn if I've ever seen one. That's not what I'm looking for. It's just an echo break. Alright, I'm willing to do that. And then I can't play out the echo transfer, but I did hatch my things. Fortunately, the Hallowed Drippings does nothing for us. But we can do that at least, which is cute. And we were going to save the shelter for when I actually have charges up here. Because it'll be quite good for us when it matters. But with one charge, it's only 4 armor on the whole team, and that's just not great. Alright, and I do deprive a little bit of power from my dudes by eating the charges for the Echo Transfer, but it scales into more consistent power. Going into the boss fight later. My deck is not good at the moment. Like, I've just got a lot of chaff since the dregs basically do nothing for me. And I've got the calcified embers, and it's just a lot of problems. Yeah, there's no benefit to using my spells here. So, I guess let's just weaken that a little bit. Unfortunately, we do lose one of the bogflies. I was hoping to get the shelter that turn. Don't need to do this, but we will do it. I'm not going to use the Echo Transfers because it would weaken my dudes. It does make them stronger too. It frankly doesn't matter either way, is the point. Okay. Wormkin Etchings is good, though we don't have a great selection of cards to be using it with. Kind of. If it gets back like the Calcify or the Excavated Embers, it's a lot more appealing. Yeah, that's something to consider. I do really like Unearthed Remains, though it's not infused and it needs investment to be good. I guess I'll take the Wormkin Etching. It's a little weird, but... Okay, and now for a choice. We're either taking First of Kin or Keeper of Echoes, and I'm leaning towards First of Kin. Yep. Unfortunately, we don't get a temple yet, and that is a problem. We're not taking Broken Wheel, because it's just a death sentence for us. Because it means that hatching our eggs would permanently remove our eggs from our deck. Otherwise, it would be really good as a pickup to get rid of all of the dregs and the stewards. Because that's a free, 8 removals at this point. But unless I think I can get through 2 fights with the First of Kin and not the Bog Chrysalis, that's just really rough. We don't have a ton of shards yet. But... that's really rough. Unfortunately, Judgmental Fittings is never worth taking, basically. Giving all enemies damage shield 1 is so rough. It's not so bad if you have, Jack Strips, because it just knocks off their damage shield for free. But, it's both really rough, and the payoff of all spells get piercing is just not that important. Rarely would any deck care about that. This one's not bad, but I don't know that I can afford the damage every turn, so we're not going to. Anyways, I kind of want to take Broken Wheel just for the memes and the dreams, but it's so bad for us. I did kind of want to do the removals and all that, but with Pyrestone Housing, could do that. But anyways, with Pyrestone Housing, it's a lot more valuable to be doing this. The Quick is a little questionable, just because when we have the Bogworm later, it can interfere with the effectiveness of the Trample. Finally caught up on Lorelei and the Laser Eyes VODs. Game needs more balanced gameplay. Way less and more Lorelei and way more Laser Eyes. I had a good time with it. I did think that it had a number of flaws. And I definitely wouldn't rate it like Game of the Year like some people had been talking about. But I liked a lot of things about it. Yeah, this is the problem with having the First of Kin, though. Oof. Okay. So we're going to draw the other thing next turn. We will have capacity as long as we don't play the First of Kin on top floor. But what do we want to do about that? This is the problem with not having Permafrost on this. I'm going to do that, and then not play this. Oh, and I forgot that we have the Vessel now. Maybe I do want to do the Bounding Echoes then. Yeah, I do. Because then it's almost ready to hatch, but not quite. We are going to take some damage because I don't kill them. It's fine. I got plenty of health to burn. And what is health, if not a resource? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to avoid the Ember Drain this time. And I also can't kill the Collector. Oh well. I can kill him. We're going to hatch at least one of my eggs now. And thanks to the large stone, our Chrysalis still has attack even though it, you know, isn't hatched, which is nice. But also, once he hatches, he is 30 times 2, which is pretty solid. Anyways, this is a little silly, but we're going to do that. Yeah, we're going to do this. Because next turn... that guy sucks. But next turn, we're going to be able to hatch this regardless. Ah, no, we've returned to boring and strong. What? Well, how you doing regardless, Splat? Monster training 2 days in a row. What is Possessed Salamander, the rich streameroni? I mean, I like playing it. Anyways, we're using that to make all these infuse, which then hatches that, which then we just use these to build up more charges, and more charges, and then, unfortunately, we still have to take the 30 damage from this bastard. Okay, we'll just kill him now. Just had to see Sal playing Exile Wormkin. You will not take away my enjoyment of Exile Wormkin. Echorite is the one true king, and we all know it. Deep in our heart of hearts, even if you refuse to acknowledge it. I mean, like, I will say that it is fun sometimes not to be playing Martial Lord, just because Martial Lord is so consistent. But yeah, on the whole, I greatly enjoy Martial Lord and all that. Yep, this is a problem. I mean, it's fine. We're going to beat the boss, no problem. Although we are going to get one Scourge card, because you're a jerk. Chieftain is consistent, which is fine. It's consistent and incredibly overtuned. If you're talking about Spine Chief, like, yeah, Spine Chief is stronger than Echo, right? And more consistent. I mean, that's part of what makes it. Each Echo is fun in her own right. I mean, Echo is not female. Or at least not confirmed to be female. Anyways. I think we're doing this. It doesn't really change things. Because we're still killing... Oh, we are not killing you anymore. Well, fuck me. I did fuck that up. I thought the math worked out. I misunderstood. Well, I take 30 damage that I should have avoided. So, that's bad. Infector Chieftain, I hope it's Infector. I was confused and just reaping everything is what I find fun because it's consistent and not as overtuned. A, that's Decayer, and B, Decayer is definitely massively overtuned. Like, Decayer is one of the few champions that, well, champion paths, that you can easily run bannerless. Which is part of what makes it so consistent, because you're not even, like, contingent upon what units you get stuck with. We'll take the Soul Crushing Guilt. It's not infused. It's still good. Oh, but then there's also Engulfed in Smoke. We are not doing Hallowed Halls. We're not doing that. Nah, that's fine. We'll skip on the Engulfed in Smoke. It's good, but we're not going to worry about it. I already have, and finally we have those transformed, which is good. And we have the temple here. And we are going to the Merchant of Magic. I don't know why I'm even considering the other option, especially because there's also a thing here that which might be Bog Slime. It wasn't, but a man could dream. Do I even care about Split Anvil? Not strongly. There is a very small world where it could be useful. And I should have checked the temple first, which I didn't. Fuck it. We'll take that. I could have just taken the gold. I almost did, but I like taking artifacts. This is going on the shelter. Intrinsic is going on... What do I want to put that on? I'm tempted to do it on the Excavated Ember. I don't think I want to do that. I could do it on the Soul Crushing Guilt, which is also not terrible. Doing it on the Echo Transfer could be nice. Because it would mean that it would get... Oh, holdover is a thing. Yeah, that's not bad. So there's a couple different options. So we could hold over Soul Crushing Guilt and just like super dazed bosses, which is pretty good. We could do it on the Echo Transfer and be building up stats every turn, though we'd only be doing it on one of our Bogflies, which is still good. Or we do it on the Driftfall. It's basically just one of those two. I think we're going to do the Echo Transfer. Funny enough, the only thing I haven't seen you do is a Stings run and a Morsel Maid run, because I can't think of anything I haven't seen you do, really. I've definitely done those, and in vaguely recent memory, at least for the Stings run. Morsel Maid we use, it's just, it doesn't show up often, and you have to already be doing a Morsel run, basically. Yeah, I think why I find it not as overtuned is I try to only kill bosses via Reap, which still is kind of overtuned. I mean, that, again, is part of what makes it overtuned, is it kills waves and bosses at the same time with little regard for what units you're offered, and doesn't matter too much which cards you're offered either. You just need some form of defense or recursion for Spine Chief, and you're good. I guess I'm going to do that. Yeah, I don't really care about the remove consume. What I do care about is getting things costing less. I also should have looked at this first. I mean, the extra capacity doesn't really matter unless I want to set up mid-floor. It doesn't really matter. I could just take the extra magic power, which sort of matters. It barely matters, but I'll do it. And then we are remembering to do this because it makes us dramatically stronger. And then Intrinsic goes on the holdover one. And now I mostly just need to remove cards from my deck, which I admittedly probably should have spent more gold on. Okay. Crystal Cloak is a concern, but will probably be okay. I actually should have done this differently. You know what? We're going to do that the correct way. The correct way being just that we play our units first. Because thanks to Martial Lord's ability, every consume is... I don't have enough for that yet. Oh, and I can't do that. I mean, I could. I just don't want to. Alright, unfortunately, we can't do that before hatching this, which is what I want to do. Whatever. We'll do that. Why are are you there, Collector? Oh, but it doesn't matter. I can easily murder things. I forgot that I have the magic power already. Which is a little bit of a concern. Fucking Total Recall. Hate Total Recall. Offering Incant Stygian next. What? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yep, unfortunately I can't play the Echo Transfer up here. You are killing my egg before I hatch it, because I didn't use the thing last turn, and I'm gonna take 30 damage from you again. God, fuck me. I'm gonna do this just so I can keep that in hand, even though it's going to waste. Oh, this is not going well. Admittedly, partly because I have 95 shards, and I played a little greedily. Yeah, really could have used this last turn. Also, really would like something like Bog Slime. Stygian Run where it's Incant, not Frostbite, offering cards if possible. That's not something I have control over. Like, if you're asking for the specific starter cards, one of the starter cards is Frostbite. Neither of them is exclusively Incant. Alright, and then we get 36 armor on everyone. And now, the sky's the limit. But anyways, like, if you want me to play Stygian, we can play Stygian. But, like, I'll play what I'm offered. I can't just commit to playing an Incant run if we're not offered Incant things. Chances are we will be, so it's largely a moot point. But yeah, here's the Soul Crushing Guilt that I wanted, and hopefully we draw it again next turn. All you need is Carven Korska, then again, when don't you need Carven Korska? Carven Korska would be highly appreciated. Also, we did draw the Soul Crushing Guilt. We were already fine without it, but yeah. Unfortunately, because of that stupid guy earlier, I took a lot of damage, but we at least kill Crystal Cloak. We're still okay on health, even though that hurt very badly. This all goes unused, even though they are okay cards. And like the melee weakness can be really good once we get up to having the Bogworm. Anyways, we're going here. Removals are good, and more to the point, we really want to see multi-strike. Yeah, there we go. Alright, sky's the limit. We got all the upgrades we wanted. Or at least all the non-event upgrades. Fuck it. Enjoy. I will come back to that in a moment. You know what? I'm willing to do this. Right. We'll do the Monster Rail Spike and just get rid of another Steward that way. Although I should have put that on a Drag, because the Drags cost 0 and the Stewards don't. Now, I kind of want to get rid of Total Recall, because I hate it. And in fact, I am going to do that. I'm tempted to get rid of the Howl Drippings, but since we have the First of Kin, they at least still do something for me, whereas the Drags don't. Neither do the Stewards. So we'll get rid of that. You're already going to get rid of, though I should have done that differently. And let's get rid of those. Do I really want to do that? The problem is I still need to be able to build up charges. You know, I'm just gonna do that. That's fine. In a game where they patch out infinites with the DLC, they really just said we don't care anymore. They didn't patch out all the infinites in the base game either. There are a number of easy, or at least easy-ish infinites in the game. I just don't particularly like playing with infinites. And that's true in any deck builder. I just don't enjoy it. Alright, I'm willing to do this even if the armor's going to go to waste on the front dude. But it hatches everything. It gets armor on most of my dudes. Not a ton of armor, but an okay amount. We don't need the drip fall, so here we are. And we don't even get a Scourge card from that because we already hatched our eggs. Alright, well, and then let's just make ourselves stronger than ever before. But yeah, getting Carmen Corsica would be really nice, as would... I should have used that up here. Don't know why I didn't. I definitely spaced out. That's fine. Also, Bog Slime. Bog Slime is the thing that I really want as well. Unfortunately, we all knew that the shard was coming. Alas, so be it. Life is pain. It's more to the point that they added a lot of shard upgrades that make it much easier to do the pre-existing and current ones. I don't know that that's really true for the infinites. Like, a lot of the infinites are not... Like, I don't know. But it's partly just also down to the design philosophy for this game. That they're okay with there being some ridiculous busted things you can do. It's just that you do still have to assemble the pieces for it. And it's a lot less egregious in a game like this than in, like, Slay the Spire, because the run time of each run is much shorter than Slay the Spire. And so even if you do assemble an infinite by, you know, like 3/4 of the way into the run, you know, you're only spending a little bit of time executing it rather than doing it for the next, like, 3 hours. That's an overstatement, but still. We're going to Soul Crush and Guilt you. We're going to Drip Fall you. Not that we really need to. Pretty confident that our team of Bogflies are easily going to crush him to death. But now he's super dead. And, even worse, we're going to stack 3 more days on top of that. Ta-da! Eternal Kinstone's okay, honestly. Don't think we need it, though, but it's kind of nice. I mean, I do like Eternal Kinstone. I don't really need it, but I'll take it. And then we're taking draw for sure. The only character in Slay the Spire that can make an infinite even when kind of unlucky is Silent. I mean, yes, kind of. But mostly I was using Slay the Spire as an example just of run length rather than specifically how infinites are capable in that game. I kind of just want to go here for the removal. We don't have enough gold for the Merchant of Trinkets, and I don't tons care what the Cavern is, though it could be okay. Like if we got melee weakness on Strike, that could be nice, but it's mostly overkill. We already -2 this one and that one, so I guess we'll just -2 this. I will take the Magic Power and Piercing just because I feel like taking the shards and it doesn't matter. It is not worth it for us, but nonetheless. Okay. I mean, we don't have any use for this high shard gaming. I mean, we're definitely not going to hit, like, insanely high shards. Especially because I don't have any more units to fuse. But we do have high shards. The spikes are annoying, but certainly doable. Don't love you, though. Yep, still do that there, and I'll do that there. I could have done it here to build up more shards, but if I draw another thing, that would be nice. Echo Break is all I was trying to say. So there's a number of things I could do here. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to play the Hallowed Drippings. But whatever. Anyways, we're going to kill this. It does mean that we're not killing him, and we are getting some Scourge cards. Oh well. We shall suffer for our sins and cry about it. You can take 2 units to infuse them, then remove them. Yeah, but I'm not going to be offered 2 more units at this point. Do you have tips on how to consistently beat the run with shards so you just cannot seem to get runs going? Seeing you easily win 200 is almost frustrating to see. Yeah, let me do a couple more actions here, and then I will elaborate. Because yes, I definitely have tips, as I spend a lot of time playing this game. Sadly, that's not quite enough to kill either of these guys. But I guess I'll kill him, so we take a little less damage from the spikes. Don't be mean, go for 100 shards before the first boss is the first tip. But seriously, don't. Yeah, no, I mean, like, all joking aside, that is by far a very useful tip. Because that is one of the things that... Because, like, what... I do this often, where, you know, when people are asking for help in the Discord or whatever, I will suggest to them to post run summaries from some of their recent runs so that I and others can take a look and give advice. And one thing that I consistently see is people who are struggling will have, like, 80 shards by the 4th ring or earlier. And, like, that's a bad decision. Don't do that. Like, you will see me do it, but that's because I have a ton of experience and know what my deck can get away with and what it can't. But anyways, let me finish this battle and I'll elaborate in more detail. It's just hard to focus on this and that at the same time. We'll just kill that guy so we don't have to attack into him, and we'll kill him even though he's dazed. But this way I'm just reducing how much life I'm losing to the spikes. Not that it matters. We're up against, you know, the most difficult boss in the game. I'm sure we'll manage somehow. I mean, none of this matters. It's only a bad decision if you're bad. By bad, I mean not lucky. Fair enough. Alright, well, one of our bogflies almost died. Not that it really matters, because our bogworm still has plenty of HP, and our other one is a menace. And it's not a big deal. And yes, I did play that in the wrong order. It doesn't matter. We are not anywhere close to losing this guy. I really want you to lose this boss at some point just so I can mock you for consistently mocking it. I think we did lose to it, like, last year sometime, and it did feel very bad. But maybe that was just a nightmare that I had. We'll take the Broken Memories. It's fine for us. Like, it's a good card for us, honestly. It's just not going to be, like, insane for us. Although Spell Chain would make it more exciting. Anyways, we're going here. We have very little reason to go to the Merchant of Steel. Okay, anyways, to take a moment to talk about shards. So really the biggest piece of advice I can give is essentially what Ashiaka was already talking about, which is don't take shards early and be very conscious of why you're taking shards. Especially when you're struggling with shards and struggling to beat Divinity, what I would recommend is take a look at the map ahead of time, which you should already be doing, but take a serious look at the map ahead of time and at least roughly plan out your shards. You should be aiming to take 100 shards as close to the end of the run as possible. I know that my gameplay does not look like that, but especially when I was getting used to Divinity, that is how I used to play. And that helps a ton. It is deceptive how much of a difference shards make. Like, essentially, ultimately what it really comes down to is you need to be making a value decision on how much each shard is really going to be helpful to you. Like, it's easy to see, like, the plus 10 in piercing and the plus 30 magic power and think, like, oh, taking both of those would be great on event. It's massive damage on a sweeping spell. And while that's true, if it's early in the run and your deck is still, like, 25 cards thick, you're only seeing that spell every, like, 3 turns at best, usually. And so, in exchange, you're making a lot of enemies stronger. You're making the boss notably stronger for a spell that will sometimes maybe kill a couple extra units for you. So if you are in any way running a fragile deck, you will probably just get shut down before that matters. Similarly, you see me fuse units usually at the first opportunity, but that's really not a necessity, and oftentimes is legitimately better for you not to do so. For instance, like having 2 sirens in a fight is generally going to do a lot more for you in the early game than having 1 siren that is 2 sirens fused together. Like that 1 siren will have better scaling, but you're missing out on an extra hit. You're missing out on having an extra body to take hits for. Yada, yada, yada. And you're also taking 25 shards, which is making enemies stronger. And all of that. Similarly, another good place to skip on taking shards is don't take the first thing. Like, especially if you're in a clan combo where you are unfamiliar with or not supremely confident with, avoiding the first couple shards, especially if it is the artifact instead of the gold, makes a big difference. Because For instance, taking the artifact is enough shards that you have to fight at least one enhanced archer, the crossbowman, in the first fight. And they go from doing 5 damage to doing 9 damage times 2 and having higher health, which makes it harder to kill them with a torch or an echo break or whatever. And like that can wipe out a unit or kill 2 trained stewards. It does a ton of damage to you. And so if you are not getting good value out of that trade, and or if you are not comfortable taking like 30 plus damage to your pyre on the first fight, don't do that. It's okay to miss out on some vaguely appealing things for the comfort that will bring you in having a smoother early game. When do you decide how and what units to fuse together? That comes down to just a lot of personal experience and preference. There are a ton of good unit fusions in this game. And this is another one of those areas where I caution against tunnel visioning. Because I find, especially with intermediate players, they tend to get a couple fusions that they are happy with and then only look for those and kind of ignore all the other options. Like, yes, there are some fusions that are better than others. For instance, some great fusion material are Animus of Will. Any sweep unit is a great base to fuse something onto. Paraffin Enforcer gives great scaling as long as you have any burnout extension. Shard Soul Carver gives both offense and defense, which is great. Plus it gives a bit of stats as well. But, like, people tend to also overlook just, like, the raw stat infusions. Like, Shadow Siege and even Demon Fiend can be good infusions just to give you, like, that initial survivability while you are waiting to draw into your scaling cards. Like, I've seen plenty of people who... And I've been in this situation before where you get to Divinity and you have answers for Divinity, but you need to survive like 2 or 3 turns so you can draw them. But Divinity's sweep is enough that's going to kill your unit in a turn or 2 because you didn't give it defense. Like, giving things just like the raw stats, even like Husk Hermit's plus 30 HP, I use that pretty often. Just because getting extra HP is very nice. It's very useful. Anyways. Point is, there are a lot of good fusions, and it really is contingent upon what you need at the time. And I just caution against tunnel visioning. You don't always need a scaling infusion. You don't always need the perfect infusion for the moment. Like, something that helps you with wave clear when you're a little light on wave clear can be great. Something that helps you with survivability can be great. I don't know. There's tons of good infusions. It really just comes down to like a clan by clan breakdown. But again, you don't need to fuse early. And often if you're struggling, it is best to wait until after the first boss to fuse, because you will have a second body to work with if you need it. And you will also not be taking as many shards going into the first boss. Unit fusion is, if you have a good combination for what you're going for, one of the most valuable uses for shards early. It's a lot of shards, but it can make a very strong unit. If you have such a combination, you might want to be cautious about taking other shards. Yeah, that's also another good way to look at it. Like, you definitely want to be fusing at some point in the run. They are very strong. And one of the strongest plays is to, you know, fuse units together and then upgrade them, and then at some point hell-vent them to duplicate them. That's way stronger than just trying to build up 2 separate units. Especially with units that scale independently on the floor, like 2 sirens will scale at the same... Any incants you do on that floor will affect both sirens, as opposed to if you're trying to do all your scaling with like a razor sharp edge. Like, having 2 units doesn't matter if all of your scaling is a single target unit. Whereas if you have units like Keeper of Echoes or
Siren of the Sea or whatever. Having multiple of those really does help. Thanks for the tips. One more question, but it's more because it feels weak. Imp Queen, is she good, or how do I make her good? I think she's quite good. I would place her about 5th in the champion rankings, which might sound low, but that's only because above that I place Spine Chief, Little Fade, Primordium, and like Echo Right. But yeah, Shardtail Queen is good. She is contingent upon seeing imps, but that's not really any different from a lot of the other champions who require some sort of synergy to work. I would say Royalty is terrible. It is one of the worst champion paths in the game. But both Imperialist and Imperate are good. Imperialist in particular does a lot of things for you. Number one, it does sweep damage to the whole floor, which is great. Especially because at rank 3, it is 40 damage per imp to all enemies. You can easily be doing a setup where you are, like, even if you're only tossing 1 imp per turn, that's 40 sweep damage for basically no cost, because that imp is also providing you value that you already want to be doing. More to the point, though, Imperialist also ensures that you are killing your imp every turn. And so if you have an endless imp, it is enabling that strategy guaranteed. Like, it's good. Imps are already good without Shardtail Queen. It's just they're even better with her. But the actions after the enemies and allies fight already, you're right? Yes, kind of. Technically, if you have Quick, it is after she attacks. So she has Quick, which you can only do via getting Awoken Tome, or Wildwood Tome, is what it's called. Technically, if you give her Quick, she will do that before the enemies. But yes, generally, she will be after the enemies. So either your frontline imps died already, or your frontline is so big that there is no train space. That's not the correct way to look at it, though. Couple things. One, Shardtail Queen is definitely one of the champions who benefits more from taking capacity than other champions. So oftentimes you are taking at least 6-7 capacity anyways, so you should have extra space. Secondly, you don't need to devote as much space to damaging units, because ideally you're killing a lot of the enemies with Queen's Toss anyway. Number 3, you don't need to put your imps in front, but also you should be doing defense of some sort. Like, you can play your imp and then stealth your team for the turn, in which case they just won't get attacked. Or you can be stacking enough armor, like using a Welder Helper, for instance. I don't know why I didn't just type in his name, but like Welder Helper, you can be using that to be stacking armor on your frontliner every turn, or using the fusion to be giving 10 armor to your whole team every turn. Imagine if you are doing, like, the very typical play that you want to do with imps and fusions is Welder Helper into Fledgling Imp. Fledgling Imp being somewhere in here. There he is. Fledgling Imp being Rage to your whole floor, and then with the Welder Helper infusion, you're then also giving 10 armor to the whole floor. Also, you can put HP on the Imp, like, if you want it to be blocking as well. Like a single plus 25 HP upgrade on the Fledgling Imp with the Welder Helper means that it is getting 36 effective HP every turn that you play it out, which is not bad. They'll survive a lot of enemy waves. So, yeah, like, there's a lot of ways to do it. You don't need the Welder Helper, but Welder Helper is great. But there are also just plenty of other defensive options. Hellhorn also can stack up tons of armor in a variety of ways. You've got whatever your other clan has for defensive options too. You can daze enemies. You can give quick to your dudes so that you're killing them early. Like, if you are stacking tons of rage on your dudes and you have, like, you know, something that attacks twice or something with sweep, you'll kill most of the high damaging enemies before they have a chance to attack anyways. But then if you use the strategy, would you put Queen bottom floor, top floors for boss killers, right? and you are not going to kill bosses like this. No, you will. Typically, at High Covenant, High Shards, you tend to do a single floor setup. With Queen, you can also do a multi-floor setup where you have Queen in mid, especially if you're doing Imperialist mainly. But no, like, you can put Queen on the same floor as whatever you were trying to kill bosses with. Like, especially if you're using Fledgling Imp, where you are stacking Rage on things. It will be buffing Queen, and it will be buffing whatever other unit you are trying to stack up power on. Queen made it hard because of reduced space. Yeah, kind of, but, like, depending on what you're trying to do, if you're just trying to use her as a sweeping machine, like, Imperialist Queen with, like, one Welder Helper will still do a ton of damage to all the enemies every turn and keep her alive. But yeah, no, I mean, like, yeah. You can put Imperialist Queen up top as long as you are not trying to use Apex Imp, because she'll also kill the Apex Imp. All that said, we've only been talking about Imperials, but, like, Imparade is also good. Not only does it discount the cost of your imps so that you are a lot more flexible in what you're doing with your turn, but if you whiff on seeing scaling, like if you whiff on seeing the Fledgling Imp, or you whiff on seeing Razor Sharp Edge, whatever, just getting to Imparade 2 gives you a Fledgling Imp every turn. Similarly, if you whiff on seeing like Endless and you just need some Imp generation, she also generates you an Imp every turn, even just going to, you know, rank 1. Not that Queen's Implings are great, but they're something. And if you really need it, you can also go to rank 3 and get a Fledgling Imp and a Welder Helper every turn. Ideally, you get a real Imp of your own that you can put Endless on or be reforming every turn. But Imparade is still quite good, even if you are just generating a base Fledgling Imp every turn. What's wrong with the Apex Imp? So the problem is that Imperialist reads kill all Imp units on this floor, and Apex Imp is an Imp unit. He is a demon and an Imp, and he is a very strong unit, but Queen will kill him. And he is not a unit you want Queen to be killing. So it is generally the one unit you don't want to be putting Queen on the same floor as ever. But yeah, anyways, Imps are already a good strategy. Queen makes them even better and more consistent. And like, Imps are already do a lot for you. They can scale up your whole team, they can give survivability, they can act as chump blockers, they can do a whole lot of things. And then Queen gives you extra bonuses for already doing what you want to be doing. So, like, we can play Queen after this if you'd like to see. We don't really need Hardened Hole, but I still kind of want to take it here. We don't really need the minus cost, but I still might do it in a moment. You know what? Let's just minus cost that with -2. What else do I want to intrinsic? Kind of want to do the Wormkin etchings. I won't be around next game due to work, unfortunately. I appreciate the thought, though. Yeah, no worries. I can still do it if you want to just watch the VOD later and see how it turns out. I might intrinsic the Eternal Kinstone. We could also do the other Echo Transfer to make sure that it gets infused. We could also do... I don't know. It's really just the Wormkin Etchings is the other choice. Fuck it, we'll do this. It doesn't really matter, but we'll do it. I don't really need to do this. I frankly should just be removing units, but that's fine. Do I care about the Hardened Hole? Kind of. Sure, we'll just take it. Sadly, not an Extinguish trigger that generates the eggs, and we aren't doing Reap, so Decay Decoy is worthless, and Improved Firebox is just not important to us. We will get rid of that. And that's all I can afford now, basically. Holdover. Could do the Soul Crushing Guilt. Could do this. I think we'll just do this. Again, not that any of this really matters. Okay. And I guess we're gonna dupe this just because I can. It doesn't matter. If only Style had units, then we'd be at 270 shards. I think you're doing the math wrong there, Splat. Because it would have been an extra 25. And then, yes, I could have gotten more shards by duping the thing that I fused. But I already got 10 shards from what I duped. And so it wouldn't be that much more. You had 2 templates you skipped? No, for the Union Fusion? No, I believe I only skipped 1. At the end there, at least. Because I believe I did it at this temple. Anyways. So that comes down. That comes down. I don't technically have to do this one first. And I'm tempted to do the Excavated Ember first. You know what? Let's do that. Alright. Let's play out the ones that are already infused first so we can see more things. Who cares? We'll just do this now. Oops. It doesn't actually matter to days, because they'll just be wiping out their days over time. So I'm not going to bother, because it will make my dudes a little bit weaker, because they do get a little bit of power based on how many charges there are. So we'll just beat Chase to death anyways. It's a shame we didn't get Bog Slime. Also, I did this in slightly the wrong ordering, but again, doesn't really matter. Ta-da! Okay, and now we have more things that are infused. Look at this go. And this might not seem like it's doing a whole lot, but again, every one that I play is an extra 5 attack for both of my Bogflies, an extra 10 attack and 10 HP for the Bog Worm as well. Also, the Excavate Embers just replace themselves, so it's a minimal investment. Ta-da! Turns out we are pretty powerful. Ta-da! My turns take a while to execute, but, you know, so be it. Doesn't really matter where I play those things. Woo! Such is the price for salvation. Fair enough. I am pleased by how many Excavated Embers we get to use all the time. It's a shame that my Bogworm does not also have Quick, because his Trample is going to waste, but whatever, fine. Such is the way of things. Yeah. I do love that my Bogworm has 720 attack, despite having had no buffs played on him. Turns out Bogworm's a good unit, even base power Bogworm. This really matters. Ta-da! Oh no, he's life-stealing 60 HP a turn! However will we handle such a thing? Yeah, Seraphine got shit on us. Especially since we didn't have any buffs or debuffs other than the days that were affected by Chased, and we were killing the Pyre Wings before they had a chance to attack, which meant we were immune to the Ember Drain, and even if they had Ember Drained us, who really cares? Everything in my deck costs 0, basically. Almost played it on the wrong floor on accident. Okay, so sadly we don't have the Excavated Embers this time. Oh well, so be it. We still do that and Hatchet on turn 1, and then we'll just daze him for 3 turns. Okay, and then we're just gonna draw those things again. Although it does delay me getting to my other Echo Transfer, but it's whatever. So we play those. I guess we'll just kill that. I don't know, there's probably a better choice there. The damage shields get in our way, but ultimately not particularly important. We're still killing them all this turn, just not dealing damage. I'm pretty sure I should have just knocked off a damage shield rather than killing the dude. But, again, pretty confident it basically doesn't matter. Although, again, this is a lot less powerful without having as many Excavated Embers. It's still fine. Also, I probably should have dazed him instead so he wouldn't have gotten the Scourge card. Like, I can handle taking damage from Divinity. My dudes still have, you know, a bunch of armor. And they're just going to get more armor repeatedly and often. Oh no, they gain armor when I kill them. How could I possibly handle such a thing? I also am never getting back to my, what am I trying to say? Soul Crushing Guilt at this rate. But again, it doesn't matter. I got enough armor. And I'm really only taking damage from Divinity's attack. I should play this in different order where I was more guaranteed to get back the Excavated Embers. Oh well. I could also just stop playing the Bounty Echoes, but again, that doesn't really matter. I'm reasonably confident that I will win this pretty easily. Fine, we'll do it this way. Just so I can kill him without having to waste an attack on him. And then just a casual 1,000 damage to Divinity while I do everything else I'm doing. May as well play this before I play those, so they give charges. Not that any of this matters, because I'm not getting another draw, because we finished right now. And thus, we easily beat him to death. Big giant bogworm and all. Alright, well, that was a run. A run that existed. I had fun with it. Getting the Pyrestone housing and getting 3 good upgrades on the Bogflies is real nice. And then, of course, getting the First of Kin infusion was important. There were definitely a couple battles where I took way more damage than I should have because I made dumb mistakes. But, you know, other than that, it was fine. Anyways, I believe Banhammer said he's not going to be here for the run, or at least most of it. But we're still going to do a Queen run because we were talking about it. Bogworm got the killing blow on both Seraph and Divinity. Proof of its superiority. Oh, I'm sorry, not Banhammer. King of Steam. The problem is you're both king, and I was thinking of the wrong one. Yeah, my bad. The Impressive is okay. Could be nice. Helkel is pretty decent. Molting Imp is not the imp we wanted. Time for a death battle. To the death. We don't really want Conscription Notice in this clan combo. I mean, it's fine early, but it's not super what we want. Faulty Loader's okay. I'll take Faulty Loader. Molting is fine. I think it goes rather well with Imparade. Are you thinking Imparade or Imperialist? I think overall it's okay. I just find it unnecessary a lot of the time. But it's a decent start. Imparade, gotcha. Imperialist, it becomes redundant. Well, it does more sweeping damage if you need it, but... And it makes for an okay infusion if you are lacking a better imp to infuse. We're taking Vapor Funnel, I guess. The magic power doesn't do a whole ton for us since we don't have Frozen Lances and we don't have Torches. We do have the Helical, but it's just adding, 6 extra damage total. I guess it does add damage to the Impressive, but it's just not a lot. Vapor Funnel just means that if we ever leak anything... then we're good. Well, we don't have Imperialist, so we're going Imparade. I'm thinking of it as infusion by itself. It's meh. Its infusion is pretty good. Yeah, it's alright. We'll do this, even though the spikes are actually a little bit of an issue for us right now. But just go ahead and kill that right there, and do that, and get Ember drained, and have at it. Alright, and then you kill there, which is nice. Yeah, I don't think I want to play out the Implings right now. Unfortunately, that backliner is what we in the biz call scary, but that's what the Imp is for. And we'll just do that and kill everything before it even gets to top 4. Alright, I will play that there. Yeah, I'm willing to get Ember Drained. We're just going to put a little bit more bodies right here. Like, we've mostly won already, and I was pretty confident we were going to draw the Helical. And if we didn't draw the Helical, there was a good chance we drew the Impressive, which also would have killed, and yada yada yada. We had a lot of things. Okay, so we're going to take the Fledgling Imp. Yeah, that's what we're taking. I'm probably taking that Offering Token. It's not an insane card, but it is a useful card. And then we're going to go here. And we get Endless, which is already what I wanted to see. It's not perfect yet, because we don't have Imperialist. But, you know, it's fine. Do I want to do this? It's not bad. I'm not sure I want to do that, though. I might want the Purge. And we'll take a Siren right now. I wanted a Sweep unit. The problem is that long term, we're probably not doing a ton of incanting. Just because our starting deck has mostly not spells in it. We can definitely transition to doing that, but we probably want the Incant Armor here. Which is, oops, not there. If I were offered HP, I would have taken it. And I know I could have re-rolled, but that's fine. I will take the Purge. I think we're going to skip on the Magic Power, and we're just going to keep a little lower on shards for the moment. I could have also done Molting Imp into the Fledgling Imp, but I would like to avoid that at the moment. Unfortunately, I don't have good ways to kill him. Oh well, so be it. I am going to get Ember Drain because of that. Oh well. And we already drew the Impressive, which is annoying. Oh, he's not quite strong enough to kill her on his own, which is a shame. Nonetheless, here we are. At least the Foregone Powers cooperated. And since he died, we will play him again. And then he has the courtesy to get himself killed. We're just going to play him there so I don't get Ember Drained, and he sort of does a little bit of work for me here. Yeah, not quite, which is a shame, but I can handle that. We do the Vapor Funnel, which means we almost get out scot-free, other than taking some spike damage, but overall, we're fine. We took 11 damage. Not a big deal. The Impish Scholar is interesting, but not really what we want. We don't have any consume spells currently. It's not a given that we're going to get any we care about. Yeah, I don't think that's what we want. And I know there's a lot of people who would have taken the Vent. It's a fine choice. I don't think we need it. We will take the Silophyte here. I think. there's no temple till after the boss. Alright, we'll take the Style Fight. Which is fine. Oh, Light's Gift is great, but so is Resonant Shard. I'm pretty confident we're just going to take Light's Gift. It makes it a little more awkward if we don't get offered... whatever I'm trying to say. Imperialist. If we don't get offered Imperialist, it gets a little more awkward because then we can't just chump block to get our imps killed because no enemy will ever attack. Nonetheless, I think we're taking Light's Gift. Resonant Shard is a powerful increase, but I think we'll be okay. And we don't need Quick since they're not attacking anymore. We are up against Chase, so technically they can attack still, which is actually a meaningful concern that I need to be aware of. Because Chase can purge the days after it's applied. I'm going to do that now. I will happily take a Railforger's Hammer. More capacity is useful, especially when we're already using Imp Parade. Quick might have been a good play going into... going into Chase, but I just really didn't want to do it. Also, you're not great. I think I'm gonna let you kill the Silophyte. Unless we get an Imp here, which we didn't. That's fine. But, like, the Silophyte's nice. I don't get crazy value out of the spell weakness. The sweep is nice, but whatever. It is just more important to me right now that I have a way to kill the boss, and the Siren is just a lot better at that. Unfortunately, Talos will murder imps for profit, which I don't love. Which is to say, every time she kills something, she gets armor. But, whatever. So ideally, we don't let her kill things if we can. Yeah, I do want to do this here. Ideally, I want to be playing spells on this floor so we build up at least a little bit of power on the Siren, since currently that is a slow and awful process, and Talos does scare me. At least here's my Imp, finally, who I badly wanted earlier. Yeah, and then I'm leaking this, whatever. We knew it was a thing. Choices were made. Problems were suffered. Alright, I'm gonna take a little bit of damage from this, whatever. Really need my Imp dead is the problem. Well, unfortunately, I didn't get to kill it again later, and I'm really not getting any meaningful scaling with my Siren. Which is an issue. But, luckily, we have it. Because we have enough blockers, and we get a bunch of direct damage, and then we're fine. Plus, she's dazed for a turn. You know, it all helps out. But yeah, that's a very weak Siren. But this is why we gave it the Incant Armor, and this is why we banked on the Siren, not the Stylophyte. Harness of Titan's worthless. Impalate, I don't like that much. I know other people like it, but I'm not a fan. And Spike the Hellhorn is just so bad. We don't get a Merchant of Steel for a while. Oh, God. This is not looking great. Though if we get Imperialist after this, we're in great shape. Or at least acceptable shape. Go take the Steelworker. And we'll take draw. Because we already got the extra capacity from the Rail Hammer. Or Rail Forger's Hammer. Those are different things. I don't think we really need the Merchant of Magic, though it is a chance to get holdover for the Impressive if we need it. Alternatively, we can go here, remove the Siren, fuse the Steelworker into the Stylophyte, remove a Train Steward, and then I can either fuse the Molting Imp in... which I can't do both fusions right now, but you know, I can either infuse the Molting Imp, or more realistically, I think we're just going to dupe the Fledgling Imp and then fuse it into itself. Because we didn't hit Welder Helper. I will need better defense for Chaste and Divinity, but we're working on that. Nope. And we didn't get Imperialist. Alright, well, we take Imparade, which is a problem. Well, it's not as good. So there's another Hellvent right there. So I think what we're actually going to do is we're going to Hellvent the Impressive. It's not bad for us in general, but having better ability... Oh, I actually should probably avoid this. Yeah. As much as I would like it, the fact that they have haste and I don't have consistent anything at this moment means this is probably best avoided. And I should have had the Cold Kylie up front. Or the Stylophyte. I totally spaced. Anyways, we at least get this. Also, now that I skipped it, we are probably going to be just fine on killing things. Though again, I should have had the Stylophyte in front of Queen for this reason. Like, I can do this, which prevents me from taking the damage, but then I let this go to waste, which I don't love. Oh, you're just gonna heal anyways. Well, fine. And I get Ember Drained. But we're gonna try to thin our deck some. And then we're going to take a bunch of damage, because I can't kill things. Oh, and I did not take Heaven's Seal. Oh, and I knew this was a problem. Whatever, that's fine. We generate a Fledgling Imp every turn. It's not like I need that specific Fledgling Imp. Anyways, we take some damage. Whatever. It's not good, but this is why we avoided what we did. Oh, and you Ember Drain me, so I can't even play this. What an asshole. And I'm going to get Scourge cards, too. Well, fine. Oh, and you skip to the top floor. Great. Cool. Oh, and I should have killed that one, because it would have been much better to have one up front. Doesn't matter. We still get there, even with some mistakes. I did take a lot of damage. Not happy about that, but as my deck has what we in the biz call problems. I badly need to remove things. At this rate, I will take another Impressive. And I will take the Frenzied Swarm, even though it's a little awkward. I know I could go here looking for Holdover. We're not going to. Not yet, at least. Okay, that at least helps our scaling. We definitely need other things, though. Kind of want to get rid of the Foregone Powers. We're going to get rid of some Stewards, though. I could also take the Magic Power for, like, the Impressives. I just don't care that much right now. I already have a lot of shards. I think taking more shards is just going to make it worse. Spell Shield's fine. Like, again, it interferes with the, well, with a lot of things, but that's fine. We'll just give them an extra stun, or daze, you know, that thing that's it actually is called. Okay. And then the scaling begins. Yeah, that's whatever. Fine. Alright, he is gonna die to the Pyre before he gets to attack, thanks to the Vapor Funnel. And then we get our double Imp back now, which helps. Once again, I need to be playing her first, and I keep forgetting to do that. It is just flat out the incorrect way to be doing it. Like, if I were scaling faster, this would matter less, but I'm not. But I can do this to get it back, which helps. Fine, we'll play that there and waste a little bit of your lifesteal. Because keeping a spot open for my better imp is better. And I have been stacking up armor this whole time. Not an insane amount of armor, but enough that it does help. Also, I should have done the Frenzied Swarm. Thought I had enough Ember. Forgot that I didn't. Doesn't matter. We have the kill. Ta-da! Alright. We're still clumsy, but we got through that without taking any damage. Skipping all these. I'll take another Frenzied Swarm, even though we're constructing a deck of misery at this point. we're definitely going here. So we would like our Silo Fight to be better. Ideally, multi-strike. No. Skipping Imp in a box. We already do not have enough capacity for things. And frankly, Imp in a box, not that great. Leave it be. I will take the old magic. It's not insane for us, but it will help. What's at the next ring? Another Hellvent. Jeez. Let's get rid of another thing. Okay. I beg to disagree. You would beg. Fucking Scourgefell. God, Garbagefell is the worst. Why are you just the worst of all creatures in existence? For once, we are going to remember to play these in the right order. Yeah, unfortunately I'm going to get Ember Drain, but whatever. It's fine. Like, Imp in a box is okay. It's just not, like, amazing. Well, we're going to play out an Imp and then daze these guys so they don't generate Scourge cards for a turn. Because I can't kill them ahead of time, and I would very much like to be dealing with less Scourge cards. And then we're going to put that one back for later, unfortunately. And then we're going to kill that one so we at least have one less Scourge card being generated. Ugh, so many Scourge cards that I'm just not really dealing with well. I did kind of want to play the old magic, but here we are. Is it worth playing him here? I think I'm not going to, because I don't know if I'm going to have enough capacity to play at the next spot. Okay, we'll do it like this, so I can play out this one. And I've still got these other imps filling up my hand. Okay, let's do that, and then get some sweet imp power. And we're gonna kill those. I wanted to play the old magic, but I also didn't want more Scourge cards, especially when I'm already Ember Draining myself. And this is the turn that Fel gives me her own card, which I don't love. We'll play that there. And then we'll just... Doesn't matter where we Frenzied Swarm. Bill does have some spell weakness on her. Not a ton, but some. Alright, so you die. We'll play out a new one, even though we get Ember Drained. And then Fel just murders them. Well, I'm going to take that damage because that's just what we're going to do. I just don't have quite enough to play it, and getting the extra scaling is important to me. Oh, and you have Spell Shield. Great. Well, unfortunately, I don't get to use your spell weakness, but it doesn't matter. We have enough damage with that one extra turn. And we've made it past Fel. Now we are going to take Capacity, I think. Deep Offering is good. I don't think it's good here, though. Kind of. I'm going to skip it. I have Ember problems as is. I think we're taking Capacity for reasons. We'll see how that plays out. Well, we're not going for the trinkets, I don't think. We definitely do want the removals. I don't know what we're going to Hellvent, but we'll figure that out. We're definitely taking the gold, and you're going to give me Imperialist. Yes, thank God. Our life gets dramatically better with Imperialist. Okay. What did that do for you? So, Imperialist, every turn, it will kill all our imps on the floor and then deal 20 damage per imp to enemy units. Namely, our big problem right now is that since I took Light's Gift, which was still the correct choice, don't get me wrong, but because I took that, enemies are not attacking, so they're never killing my imps. So the only way I'm ever killing imps is by playing like the Impressive, basically. But by taking Imperialist, now Queen will kill the imps for me every turn, so I will not be running into capacity problems. And it allows my endless imps to truly shine. Because they will die and come back the next turn. I'll get to keep playing them and playing them and playing them. So it's going to be much better for us. Yeah. Which of these do I want? I think we want the Heartless, because we don't heal on anybody. If I took the extra HP upgrade, I would put on the Fledgling Imp and have, like, 51 HP, which is not bad. But, I think we just want the extra HP on everyone. So the higher HP would be nice for Chaste, since that is the fight that is going to ignore Light's Gift, basically. Regardless, we made a second Endless Fledgling Imp, which is good, because it means that we can draw it more reliably earlier, but also... also, now with... yeah, I guess we'll play that there, because then you can kill. Don't worry. At some point, I'll remember what I was trying to say. It's okay. We'll get there. That's the first time I played the old Magic. It's not bad. It just... Didn't have the Ember for it before. Anyways, yeah, with our two Endless Imps and the Fledgling Imp that we generate every turn, we have exactly 3 capacity to be playing them all out every turn, which is good. So now we just get a lot of scaling. It's not like insane scaling, but it is good. For instance, we go from 67 damage to 117 damage to the whole floor. Plus it also buffs Queen as well. I really do need to thin my deck more still, because there's a lot of essentially dead cards for me now. We only did that so we could just get back the Fledgling Imp and play him again. But yeah, most of my deck doesn't matter anymore. Pray for Ashes. I mean, yes, if we can get Ashes of the Fallen, that is by far the thing that we want to see. It is easily far and away the best artifact that could be offered for us. But yeah, like, we were struggling to hit, like, 100-ish attack on the Style Fight in prior battles, and now we're easily up to 367. Like, not a big deal. Ta-da! I will happily take the important work. That works very well with endless units, especially when they cost me nothing. We are going here. The removals are good for us. We also still have not gotten multi-strike on the Silo Fight, which we would like to get. And if we don't get that, we'll just take more HP. There are good things that we could do with Merchant of Steel, of course, but who cares about any of these? These just don't matter to us. I don't have consume cards. The magic power is meaningless, and I basically don't play that many spells each turn. Not what I wanted, but I will take that. Yes. Happily will take the multi-strike. And then let's just make our deck thinner. 140 shards is kind of low for jank. I mean, it's very low for how I play, but that's because we had a struggle earlier that is now essentially resolved. And so if I could take more shards at this point, I happily would. I think we're just getting rid of all 3 impressives. It's because Sal's weak. How dare you? Or maybe we get rid of 2 impressives and an imp or a helical. I think it's that. Because the impressives are still good if we have the offering token at the same time. It's just that most of the time that's not going to be the case. Okay, well, here we are. Yeah, it does feel weird to be below 150 shards. Okay, so, we played that out so we can avoid the Ember Drain. We play these in the correct order. Nothing really matters. We'll do that just for kicks. Do this in the correct order. Can't even get a fun step before Divinity, right? That's only 150 plus. Yeah, I believe that's correct. Yeah, unfortunately, we are going to be fairly badly affected by Chased, since it is going to mess with all of our rage gains. But this is why I did everything that I did to mitigate our concerns. Oh, whoops, I totally meant to have the Frenzied Swarm. It's fine, we're still blocking the damage that we need. But getting the deck thinner means that we draw the Frenzied Swarm consistently, which is, you know, important to us. And we don't let them attack. Unfortunately, again, fucking with my rage does really annoy things. I still build it up very well every turn. It's just that it's hard for us to maintain anything. Also, I meant to play the Molten Imp there. I just forgot I didn't have enough Ember for it. But hey, also once we get to Relentless, it will matter less. Oops, there we go. Yeah, anyways, once we get to Relentless, we have a couple turns to build up stats uncontested, which is nice. Also, our defense is not great. It's okay. I'm building up some armor all the time, and I was able to get a decent amount of base HP, which is appreciated. And I get a little bit of armor from the old magic. So, you know, it's something. Well, I really... whatever. Unfortunately, I can't use both Frenzied Swarms in the same turn. It just is impossible. Okay, so we are almost there already, and so let's just make that official. We play that, we play that, we play that, and even that's already enough, but then let's Daze for a turn, which is more than enough. I also could have played the Imps in front to block on the first turn, but I knew I was going to play the Frenzied Swarm, and so I wanted them behind the Style Fight so she would sweep the enemies and kill them before the Imps attacked, so they could do some damage to the Seraph. Again, not that it really mattered, but hey. Alright, and now Divinity, who will cause me some problems, but I think he'll be okay. Even my basic little imps survive his attacks, and we are mitigating the damage with the Steelworker Infusion, and then we're going to daze him as often as we can. It might not be enough. We'll see what happens. I did that in slightly the wrong order. Oh well. We do more damage by killing you than keeping you alive, so we'll do that. And we're doing a clean 500 damage to you, plus the 50 we did during the turn from the impressive. And then we're going to do this here. And there, so we can kill the spike dude, and then give them a bunch of armor, which is whatever. Yeah, I don't love how much armor I gave them, but I did want to cut down how much damage I'm taking of my own volition. We're trying to take a little bit of damage from the spikes. Oh well, we're doing what we can. Alright, I am taking a fair bit of damage from Divinity, but I'm also doing like 1,000 damage. Not necessarily 1,000. I'm doing a lot of damage a turn. And I get to daze every couple turns, which is helpful. Alright, another 1,000 damage. We should be totally fine. Ta-da! And then we daze, and also Divinity's dead. Look at us go! Yeah, it was a bit messy just because early game I struggled with the ability to kill my imps, and my defense was a bit low, so I had to be careful. But, that's fine! How you doing, 007? Oh, but yeah. Overall, it was a pretty clean run. It looked a little clumsy, and like I said, I definitely drafted in a different way than I normally would, where we just made a lot more impressives, but it worked. Low shard gaming, very different from last run, so of course we hit 3-turn Divinity Rush because of lower shard count. Yeah, I mean, there's a very notable difference between 140 and 240 shards. Oh, man. And then I almost forgot to change back to random. Was your favorite hero-only run? And by that, do you mean not using any banner units? Because if so, there's only like 2 options. Sort of 3, kind of. Let's actually just go through that real quick and make sure I'm not forgetting about anything. Doing alright, watching my phone's not typing much. Understandable. It is not the best UI. So there's like 4 that you can do hero only if you're not including banner units or non-banner units. Which is basically Spine Chief with the Care, Little Fade with Little Icarus, Prince, you can sort of do it with Brawler, though it's not easy. And then Cold Channel Soul Guard is basically the only other option. Technically, there are other ways you can do it using like an insane Ember Drain setup with a lot of like Furnace Taps, or getting Trample from Umbra Stone. And technically, you can do it with like the Trample from Monstrous Penumbra, but that's really unlikely. Anyways, point is, of those, definitely Little Icarus is the most fun to play. It's just a fun champion pathway in general. But I also think it's fun to try to feed the kills to Fade and to work around all of that, especially early game where it is much more difficult to work around your deck not being well tuned yet. And if you're using a single unit rather than hero only, I mean, that's a lot easier, kind of, just because you can upgrade your units to have multi-strike and they're ones with sweep and all that. It's not particularly interesting to limit yourself to just a single unit. But, I mean, I don't know. Like that. There's no unit that really sticks out to me as just a single unit. Like, there are a lot of fun units. Like, I really like using Keeper of Echoes, especially alongside Infector Spine Chief, but they work well just in general. Lodestone Totem is also quite nice. Eel Gorgon is a lot of fun. Overgorger is great when it works, but it's not great in general. It's very satisfying. Bounty Stalker's cool. But again, it's like a single unit. You need more than one Bounty Stalker because you need to be able to hit enough times to kill the full waves. Or you need to be clearing it other ways. Dante. Dante's fun too. I mean, he's not that interesting, but he is fun to build upon. Glugsider is fun when he works, but again, the biggest problem with Glugsider is just that their revenge only applies to the attacking unit. Like, there's so many hoops to jump through to make Glugsider work, and if it were better at wave clear, namely if it helped kill enemies that don't have attack and therefore never attack into him, and or if you could self-trigger it with your own like torches and echo breaks and all that, that would make it so much better. Like, it would be still sort of a niche unit, but it would at least be playable when it shows up. I also really like Bogworm, but, you know, that's just because Bogworm is cool. Anyways, let's start a new run. Alright, we are Wormkin and Umbra. We have the Soul Siphon start. Okay. We'll take the Temper Talisman. It's not a bad start when you've got Echo Breaks. And the Plinks. Like, neither of them is insane with it, but it makes it way easier to just kill the early enemies who have, you know, 5 to 10 HP. Okay. I don't really want to do Martial Lord again. This is not the best team for Shellsmith, but I don't know. Let's do Shellsmith. Unfortunately, again, though, it's not a great clan combo for that. It works so much better in a clan combo where you can overstack things. Like, it's fine without that, but it's dramatically better with that. Nonetheless, I guess we'll take it just to do something different. Alright, Spikes 3 is fine. We do start with the Bog Flies, which is kind of nice. Yeah, I'll do that. So I can avoid the Ember Drain doing it that way. Though I don't get the armor from Shellsmith, unfortunately. Okay. Not a terrible start. Unfortunately, these guys having spikes is really annoying, because if things die to their spikes, then it does count as a slay, and they can get the damage shield, which is a pain. Okay, I'm going to do this so I can avoid the Ember Drain, and then we're going to give a bunch of armor. It's not tons yet, but it is 8 to the whole squad, which is not trivial. Problem is, you're going to get lifesteal, but you're probably going to die before that matters. And I've got a bunch of morsels that I'm not going to put down because they will just all die to the spikes and give him like 6 damage shields. And by 6, I mean 4. Which is why we only put down the one that doesn't have attack. Well, I was hoping to get a morsel here so I could put it in front and let him lifesteal. Did not end up happening. Okay. Ta-da! I mean, then we just easily crush the boss. We have lifesteal. We had a decent amount of HP. Our bog flies were doing good damage. Easy. Bounding Echoes is generally quite useful. I kind of want the Echo Snare. I think we're taking the Bounding Echoes, though. I think that's just the more reliably useful card. Okay. So Perils is nice, especially infused. We are into Chased, which makes the rage part of it worse, but that's only for a single battle. I'm leaning towards the Space Prism, though, because the only way for us to overstack in this clan combo is to either use Cave-In, which is awkward, or we need to get things from an event, and that's unlikely, namely Old Magic, and then get the Ascend option on there. But we could make more space with Space Prism. I think we're just going to do that, and then hope for, like, Intrinsic and Spell Chain. We need to get units that actually justify that, but... God, it's only Umbra Banners. Which is not what I wanted to see. Yeah, we're still going to go here. Another run, very dedicated. Yeah, those are not really what I wanted. I kind of want to not take them and then use my Bogflies, but that is an awkward decision. I think we're just taking the Crucible Collector for now. I'm not going to upgrade him. I will Spell Chain this. I will do that, I guess. Though, that is a decent amount of shards for very little benefit at the moment. I will take the unit draft, even though I'm going to have a hard time killing things. I'm sorry, we're actually going to do this in the correct order. Just because I wasn't thinking... Oops. There we go. Just a minor change, and I just wasn't thinking about it first. So, we do this first, because I don't want to get tons of Ember Drain. We are going to get Ember Drained regardless, though. We play that, and then we do this, so then we can get at least a little bit of armor on that, and then you'll just go out there. Okay. And then have a bunch of lifesteal. Doesn't matter a ton yet, but hey. Well, our dude is almost dead to the spikes, which is a problem. But we knew this was going to be the case. But we can at least stop that. And we get the kill, and that's all well and good. This is why we take a banner unit, even if it's not a great banner unit. It's just important to have them regardless. Have some more attack, I guess. Alright, he's still got spikes, but there are less spikes now. And then just take some damage, who cares? We have the kill, even if one of our Bogflies dies to the spikes. Ta-da! There we go. I mean, we probably want the Echo Transfer. The Echo Snare's kind of cute, but we want the Echo Transfer so we have some guaranteed scaling. I will take the Perils, I guess. I mean, Morsel Maker I'm sort of fine with. It's not totally great for me here, though. I really wanted, like, Wormkin units. I really just want, like, Keeper of Echoes. That's what I want. Or other things, but Anyways, we're going here, I guess. Interesting. That's quite a spread of things. I guess we're taking wing technology amongst all this, though it is a little weird. Kind of want the quick, but I don't know that that's really useful for me. The Shard Chandler as an infusion is interesting. It's not particularly good, though. Partly because we're going into Chased. I mean, in general, it's not great, but especially into Chased, it's a lot worse. I'm still tempted to take it, but I can't really justify that. It's just too slow to matter. If we only had to contend with bosses, and that's to say, like, you know, if Relentless was always active, I could probably put it to good use. Kind of. I think we're just taking the Rail Spike. I think that's just what we're doing. As much as I kind of want to do other things. God, there's more multi-strike. I really don't want to put multi-strike on the Crucible Collector. Nor do I want to do it on the Morsel Maker. Well, here we are. We got a fair bit of shards and very little to show for it, and it's double explosions, which is not great. It's probably doable just because it's specifically what we're dealing with. Except you do exactly 20 damage. Oh, I forgot that I didn't intrinsic this. I was confused for a second because I knew I'd upgraded it, but and last time it did show up in the first turn, and so in my mind that was the thing. But nope. Yeah, unsurprisingly that did not work. Okay, great. Yeah, that bomb right there is awful for us. Yeah, this is really not good. I needed this last turn. Also, I should have played out the Steward. Kind of. Actually, I don't want the Steward there. Okay. Well. Wasting all of my consume cards, but hey. Yes, thank you for killing the one that had haste. Well, this is working a lot better than I expected it to, honestly. Still not good, but Yes, beautiful. Pretty solid turn of events, honestly. Frankly, that was a fabulous turn for us. Let's see how this goes, but honestly, you know, we turned out pretty nicely. And he makes some damage shielded morsels, which is something. Yeah, there's no way I'm killing him early, so it doesn't really help to do anything there. So let's just do some damage here. And so be it. And then we've got these guys blocking for 1 round. And then, ta-da. And then he beats our morsel maker to death. And then we just beat him to death. Honestly, went way better than I thought it was going to go based on how that first turn went. Okay. Interesting. God, we could live the echoes of the past dream. But we could also just take the furnace tap. Yeah, it's not really feasible to do what I want to do with Echoes of the Past. It's still not a bad card for us. Specifically, so here's the dream with Echoes of the Past. You apply 6 attack to a unit per echo, and then you clear all the echoes. And we do have the Soul Siphon, which means that if we got Repeater, or if we got Broken Memories, or some other way to return consumed cards, what we do is every turn we use the Soul Siphon to fill up our charges to max, and then we clear them all with the Echoes of the Past. That does require us to have a thin deck or to have holdover. The Ember Drain's not too big an issue because we can just get that to minus, cost down to 0. Or we have the Perils if we want. That's an option as well. And then ideally we have Keeper of Echoes so that when we are filling it up with charges, we're also proccing the Keeper once per every charge that's generated. Turns out all of that's pretty good, and it's just rare that that lines up. The problem is, A, we don't know if we actually have a Keeper of Echoes. B, we already have a bunch of other consume cards. C, we don't have a Repeater, and we're not sure if it's going to be offered. We'll just take the Furnace tab. And this is our option. Okay. Kind of want the Kinhost Vessel, although it's really bad for us to hatch. I kind of just want to take it for the infusion. Bets on Repeater being offered next. I mean, again, even if it is offered, it's not like an amazing choice for us. We're going to skip that, and we're going to hope that that's correct. I think we're taking draw here, and I might take capacity later, but we're taking draw. And we are going to bet on this being useful. Spell Chain. I really wanted Intrinsic is what I wanted. Fuck. Well, so be it. That's fine, kind of. It just means I need to get way better at charge generation. Also, I could take Martial Lord. We're not going to. We're going to stick to the original plan. Okay, and then we're infusing Morsel Maker into the Bog Chrysalis. And then we're going to cry a little bit deep in our Heart of Hearts. And we're going to debate long and hard whether we want to take the Spell Chain. I guess we're going to wait to see what happens here. Okay. So there's another temple next and one more after. There's another Merchant of Magic. Sadly, not a Merchant of Steel till here, which is a concern. Okay. Hello, Garamoni. How you doing? I'm willing to do this, even though there's a great chance that ends up being a terrible decision. Really wanted holdover. Okay. This is a time where I really would have loved to have had broken memories, among other things. I'm going to do this. There's a good chance that it ends up not being important to us, which is a problem. We have a lot of issues in our deck. Oh well. We're also going to bet on the Marker Invasion and suffer when it goes poorly. Okay. I probably should have killed you, honestly. One day I want you to say, hey guys, this is the biggest IQ decision we'll ever see. Given my general personality, that is unlikely to hear me ever utter, but fair enough. I do recognize that I often am the voice of doom and gloom. I was really hoping to kill that backliner. That is what I was hoping for, and that did not happen. Unfortunately. Well, unfortunately, I have to take 14 damage from him alone, and then I'm also going to take a bunch of damage from this tank surviving. It wouldn't be so bad if he didn't end up on the same row as the guys who give power when they die, but he did. Now you too can get the new League of Legends announcer pack. The voice of doom and gloom, narrated by Sarcastic Salamander. Oh man, you're not wrong. God, I would get Ember Drain 4 by doing that, which I don't love. It does feel like maybe a worthwhile decision. You know what? We're gonna do it. Not exactly what I was hoping to draw here, but it does kill that, which is something. Which I don't have capacity to play these out anywhere. Well, I mean, I can play them here, but, like, who really cares? Go forth, my army of morsels. And yes, I did play those in slightly the wrong order, but that's okay. I just imagine someone getting a pen to themselves saying, well, it's not the most impressive thing, but it's what we were offered. Oh, that's not good. That helps a little bit. And being able to play him helps a bit more. And by helps a bit more, I mean does actually do everything I needed. I thought we were still going to be a little short on the math, but it worked out. This part is less good, but we can make ourselves a little stronger. As we'll do that there. I don't want to fuck with the math, so we're not going to do the Echo Transfer because I don't know if it's going to prevent me from killing that backliner, and I already took a lot of damage during this fight. This is not the best time to be dealing. So unfortunately, he's just going to kill all of these and give me a bunch of Scourges, which I now regret my decisions, especially the one where I killed his backliner. God, if we were trying the Perils next turn... and I kind of want to do the Furnace Tap, but here's what we're going to do. I just don't want to take quite as much damage from these Scourge cards. I'm still going to take some damage from them, but it's a big difference from taking, you know, all of the damage. Yeah, and then unsurprisingly, Furnace Tap or no, we easily murder here. I did get Echo Raid killed by draining some charges. It's fine, who cares? Eternal Kinstone, you say? I do like it. And it is sort of valuable here. I don't think it's crazy valuable, though. I think we are going to skip on that. The problem... Sure, fine. Alright, give me Holdover. No. Give me Intrinsic. Okay, that's something. We'll come back to this in a moment. Give me Holdover. Fuck. Take another of these, even though it's questionable how useful it will be. Fine. And then you're going to Intrinsic right over here. The Soul Siphon is also not a bad start, but we're going to do this. The problem is that what we are currently doing is running not a good deck. And turns out that causes problems. And yes, I know I'm leaving the train stewards in there, but that's because we're trying to get the deck itself, well, the spells portion of it thinner, so that we can try to rely on the perils more often, even if we don't hit, whatever I'm trying to say, holdover. I'm going to do that, even though it makes it take longer for you to hatch. But by doing it now, then you're just a little better at your job. And I guess I'll do that and that. Okay. I do get Ember Drain by doing it this way, but then I can do this. Guess we'll do that. Have some morsel support, I guess. Who cares? Unfortunately, you're not hatched yet. Okay, interesting. Unfortunately, I can't play out the other Bogfly here yet. And playing this is a little bit of a waste at the moment. But I can kill you at least. And I could do one of these. It would be much better on... Yeah, fuck it. Let's just do it. I do get Ember Drained, which is a problem, but I get the kill here. And it would have been much better on one of the ones that hatches, but then we're going to hatch for a bit. Anyways, having an extra 2 attacks on a guy who's going to have decent damage is useful. Okay, and now we do this because now we can actually get armor on everyone. We just have so much Ember Drain already that it doesn't fucking matter. So have a whole bunch more Ember Drain. And we have enough armor on everyone that taking the sweep damage doesn't matter that much. And we're able to kill that guy before he attacks, which cuts out most of their damage. And 2 of our Bogflies are gaining power every turn. Not a ton of power, but a little bit of power. Don't hate it. Alright, and even though he's doing 32 damage to every unit on my floor, it doesn't matter. Go forth and murder. Alright, that worked out okay. Worked out pretty well. Still a bit sloppy. I'll take that, I guess. Fine. Well, isn't that an interesting option? I will take that, I guess. Even though it's a little questionable. And I do want the Merchant of Magic still, especially because it's got the removals, but I also badly want to do this and get some upgrades on our still currently unupgraded Bog Chrysalis. So we're going to do that, because that's rather important. We don't care about Command River Spike, and in fact, do not want it. Actively don't. Notice Stone's fine. I guess we'll take it. Honestly, probably should just take the gold, but happily we'll take that. And I might just take the HP. Because we need to be able to survive a hit from Divinity, basically. And I also don't have a ton of... Yeah, that's fine. We'll just do that. That's good enough. I mean, I sort of could have gotten around it anyways. Sea Cavern first. The reason I didn't is because there was the possibility that we got one of the cavern events that was a unit upgrade, and so I wanted to fill the slots first, because if we got one of those, we could add it as a third free upgrade. If I took it first, then I wouldn't be able to buy a second upgrade, because the slot would already be filled. Do I care about this? I mean, yes, kind of. But mostly no. I was thinking it could be money, but hey, that's also valid. Well, as far as money, there's also money in the center here. And so, like, I have money if I need it, kind of. I'm gonna skip that, actually. I think. Is that true? Am I really gonna skip that? No. I'm gonna take that. It'll help with Chased at the very least, which is what I was considering it for. Anyways, here we are. I still have many more cards in my deck than I want, and I have many problems to solve. Mostly we're okay by now. They're just a little awkward, and it could get a lot better. Again, unfortunately, this armor goes to waste. At least on the Bog Chrysalis, because I can't hatch it turn 1. Yeah, I'm willing to do this. Although I probably should be playing them in a different spot than that. That's fine. I could have avoided the Ember Drain, but I decided I was okay with taking it. And yeah, I'll block that. The dude will die, but that's fine. And we're going to do this down here, which is not my favorite, but allows me to kill him. And we'll just do that now. Which also means the morsel doesn't die this way because he hits armor. Okay. Okay. He does get armor. It does use up a little bit of our ember. That's fine. We're going to do this, which will finally hatch the egg. And we're going to draw a bunch. Okay, let's buff you before you hatch. You're gonna do stuff, who cares? This doesn't matter anymore. And I guess I'm going to take a bet on this, and it didn't draw the one I wanted. I was really hoping it was going to get the old magic so I could buff the egg before it hatched. Because then both of the hatched ones will benefit from it, which would be nice. But it's fine. I unfortunately don't have a lot of armor on my bogflies, but so be it. Alright, we're just going to give up on all sense of propriety and go all in on sweet, sweet Ember Drain. Okay, don't mind me and my 6 attacks. With a little bit of scaling every turn. Not a lot of it scaling, but a little bit. Since they gain +6/+6 every turn from the Morsel Maker infusion. Which is fine. It's not bad. The worst part about it is that it happens at end of turn rather than beginning of turn. It is hard to see which unit I am targeting. Let's just kill you. I suppose I technically should have used the Plink instead. Oh well. I didn't. I do get a fair bit of extra power with the Notice Stone, just because I have a lot of consume cards. Yep, there we go. May as well shoot Fell, because it doesn't matter to hit elsewhere. We're already killing all the units up here. And so we can at least get like an extra 30 damage on Fell. Sadly, we're not able to play the old magic, which deprives us of sweet, sweet gold, but hey. And again, we are not in great shape for Seraph. But otherwise, we're looking pretty good. And once again, can't play this, unfortunately. Alas, so be it. Well, and then we beat him to death with our mighty number of attacks. Yeah, I'll take an Unearthed Remains, even though it's another expensive card for me to deal with. We'll take more draw, especially because that helps with my current predicament. And then we're gonna go here. Yeah, we'll take Cheater's Hand, I guess. Okay. Okay. So I could Spell Chain the Furnace Tap. That is definitely an option available to me that does require 7 mana to play during a turn. Kind of. There are ways around that a little bit. I still might do it. We could also do it on the old magic, which I think is probably the better option, and I think is what we're going to do. And Intrinsic is going to go here, and we're going to make some special choices about our life. Are they good choices? Questionably, but... and now we need to start getting rid of units. Kind of. There's a lot of things I'd like to get rid of. We're going to get rid of units, though. Once again, Martial Lord would be good for us. We're not taking it regardless. And there's one more ring in the Hellvent there, which is not where I wanted it, but fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to dupe the egg. Do I need to? Probably not. We don't have the best setup for it. I'm still doing it. Look at me go. Heaven Seal is whatever, fine. Okay. Alright, and I got the one we wanted. Whatever, we'll shoot one of them. Unfortunately, I'm not great at hatching the eggs, but I do have 2 eggs that are stacking every turn, so that's something. Sure, we'll do this. It's not that impressive yet, but I'll still do it. Unfortunately, I can't play out the other Bogfly. Oh well. No, I can't play you yet. Fuck. Because even though it got minus cost, it wasn't enough. Well, so be it. We'll leave that. Yeah. I guess we'll put that there. Well, at least I generate an obscene amount of armor. Even with wasting a lot of my consume spells before the things hatch, I'm still going to end up with a fair bit of everything. And then we just kill him before he has a chance to shoot us. And then we have a bunch of wasted cards that I can't play because I get Ember Drained, and I just have to wait till I can play them. I probably should have played this on one who is further to the back. Oh well, whoops. Alright, so these do 14 right now. Well, let's just increase that by 1, and then we can kill there, we can kill there. No need to worry about them. I don't know, who cares? So let's hit the guys who have that. Anyways, we get Ember Drain for a bunch. Doesn't matter, we were already Ember Drained to the high heavens. Your actions are meaningless to us. Alright, well... just go all in on our choices. Just a solid 6 attacks. I don't know if this is costed down to 0 or not on the spell chain, that is. We're going to assume that it is. Yeah, I was pretty sure that it was down to 0 now. Anyways, none of this really matters. I guess we hit him instead. It is inconsequential. Real jank requires recklessness to forge a path to victory. You know it. I guess we'll hold that for next turn. Who cares? Look at me go, gaining a sweet 40 gold. Delicious to the extreme. And then another 15 attack for you. Alright, who needs it? Right. Alright, he does get one very powerful hit in, but it doesn't even kill Echo, right? Unfortunately, again, I'm wasting a lot of my armor generation before I actually hatch my eggs. I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna skip those two. I was really hoping for, like, Broken Memories or something. Or Wormkin Etchings. I did not realize that I had 100, or 1,180 gold. Base charge, not bad. Hammer chest plates is sort of useful. Kind of hoping for magic power and consume. Didn't get it. But we did get this, which is helpful. I'll take that. Let's remove things. Yeah, I really would prefer more consume cards. But we'll see what we can do. Seraph is not so much of an issue, at least. Okay. Yes, I know I'm not hatching it now. That's fine. I probably should have let it hatch. But could use Total Recall if you want to consume more. I know, but Total Recall gets really clumsy. And I just didn't really want to do that. So I didn't. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna hold on to a bunch of our consume cards. And try not to die before it matters. I should have done that well, it worked out about the same. Anyways, you guys can go there and die. Who really cares? And then we'll draw 8, even though I can't quite accommodate all that many, but that's fine. Yeah, I guess I'll do this on the backliner, even though I should have moved my dudes around if that's how I was going to do this. But that's fine. Just in case we start actually having units die, let's do this in the vaguely more responsible way. Okay, anyways. Yeah. Even our morsel doesn't die with his 40 armor. It doesn't really matter what we're keeping and what we're not. kill all the attackers before they have a chance to wound us. Yeah, we get Ember Drain. So be it. We were already Ember Drained. And then we attack a lot of times. And do a fair bit of damage. I guess we do that. Doesn't really matter. Oh, I should be killing you. We do that, and then we draw 6 cards. Oh, look. These look familiar. Our deck is pretty thin now. We've definitely made it into a workable deck. And again, this is why I like Shellsmith, because even with just essentially no effort put into it, we are generating, 120 to 140 armor on our whole team. Turns out, pretty good. Like, I don't have any explicitly defensive cards. But it just doesn't matter. I mean, it does help that I'm shooting a lot of the high damage dudes dead beforehand. But, even so. Also, we're generating a bunch of gold, though it doesn't matter because we don't have anywhere to spend it. Technically, it gives us extra score. Who cares? I do like that, thanks to Notice Stone, we get plus 15 damage to all of our spells. Kill you. I mean, we've already won this. I'm pretty confident that once Chase hits top floor, we are going to crush them. Like, yeah, Echo Right's getting a little low-ish on armor, but all the dudes behind still have 100 armor and like 100 HP. And our backliner attacks for 300 some a turn. Well, 300 times 6 a turn. And it's going to be closer to 400 by the time Relentless actually takes effect. Woo. Alright. Echorite doesn't even die, does take some damage. And then humanity's counterattack begins. Ta-da! Oh no, Echorite almost died. Whatever shall we do? Yeah. Again, this is why Shellsmith is pretty good. It is the weakest of Echorite's pathways, but it still has very good value. And I think people discount how good it is and overestimate how much investment you need to get it going. Alright, so what do I want to do? I honestly might just want to set up mid-floor or bottom floor. I would leak by doing bottom floor, but I think I don't really care. I don't know if I'd be able to scale fast enough is the problem. But I'm sort of willing to try it. Yeah, like, it would have been nice to play the, morsels up front, except that I didn't want these guys to get more damage shields. It still probably would have been the better play. No, I should have done this. Whoops. So be it. Okay. That almost kills. Let's do that, I guess. I should have done that in a slightly different order. Oh well, I'm not too worried about it. Let me just draw 8 again. Fortunately, the Soul Siphon is a waste, but whatever. Let me just kill him outright. I am giving a bunch of extra armor to this guy, unfortunately. Anyways, we are leaking a lot of damage. I think we're still surviving. It's not like clean, but it's a thing. Okay, this will look a lot better in mere moments. Let's just kill you so we take less damage on the pyre. I'm still taking a lot of damage on the pyre. Would have been real nice if we'd started with Shard of Divinity for the 100 extra armor. We'll see if we are surviving. Because the next... Yeah, I don't know that we survive just because the next floor is going to hurt quite a bit since he has so much armor. Because I played so many spells. I had to, though, but... Alright, we can reduce it a tiny bit, but I think he still kills me. Yeah, he definitely does. Alright, let's try that again. I did wonder if that was going to be the case. It's just unfortunate that Yeah, I mean, like, I might have been able to get away with playing less spells there. Anyways, we'll just set up elsewhere. I was just curious if I could make it work on bottom floor. We can probably get away with mid. It's just that it's a lot of damage on first turn. But we don't need all of our capacity. So we should still be fine. I could also do top. I think we'll be okay even taking the sweep damage every turn. I was trying to avoid taking the sweep damage, but realistically, I don't think it matters. This is reckless because we are going to give them an extra damage shield, but I don't want the morsel kicking around my deck. Okay, so let's do that. Oh, you still have another damage shield. What an asshole. And yes, most of my consume spells are being used giving armor to dudes who don't benefit from it. Oh well, that's fine. Who really cares? And unfortunately, I can't play the Furnace Taps on my things yet, unless I just want to power up Echo Right, but I'm pretty confident that's not what we want to do. First floor strat, very brave. It almost worked. And I don't think we needed to not set up on top floor, but I wanted to see if we could get away with it. And we almost did. Okay. Okay. And soon we will get the Furnace Tap. Echo Right might end up dying just because we do take a lot of damage with Divinity's multi-strike. Turns out actually a problem. But let's see what we can do. Yep. Still dying. Which might actually mean that I can't do this. Or at least not with having given the Furnace Taps to the frontliner. Oops. That was not what I meant to do. I can do a lot of damage. I just don't have defense outside of what Echo Right gave us. Yeah, but our powerful one is about to die, which is why I don't normally buff the one up front. Well, yeah, and then we do a lot of damage that way. Yep. And then I get weaker and weaker as this all happens. Yeah, if I still had my 6 attacker, that would help tremendously. Anyways, we'll do this in a different way. There's multiple things I can change. Like, I can change when I'm using the consume cards. I can also set up top floor, which probably is going to work just fine. I am pretty sure I could do it on mid-floor if I just used the Furnace Taps on the backliner. I was trying to see if I could do it without doing that. Because it is nice in its own way. Because it means that we'd get through the enemies faster with more damage going on to Divinity itself. But, oh, and I had to do that turn. I didn't mean to. Oh well, that's fine. It works out. Not a big deal. Well, I'm still gonna try giving... Oh, did I accidentally give that to Echo Right? Whoops. We're not gonna do that. I accidentally clicked on Ek, right? Turns out it's hard to tell which unit I'm selecting sometimes. Don't mind me. We will fix it. Also, realistically, I still probably should be putting the furnace tap on the backliner, not the frontliner. But, hey. Oops. Oh, and I know why we're hatching on top floor. It's because I keep forgetting that we have the one extra from Encased Divinity. Because we weren't setting up on top floor before, and so we didn't have access to that. We'll give the furnace taps to you, I guess. And yes, I know the back bogflies are missing out on all this armor generation. Oh, wow. They'll just have to contend with a life of suffering. But at least on this turn, we're already hitting for 1,000 something. I guess I'll leave the Soul Siphon for a moment, so we can use it after the dudes have hatched. Still have a decent amount of HP, even without, even just as they hatch. Oh, and the weird glitch happened where they hatched in front, which is honestly not bad for us. It is strange when that happens, though. Because I still don't know exactly what causes that. But whatever, it's fine. I probably shouldn't have played him in front because now they're getting extra damage shield. It's fine. We're still doing 930 damage to Divinity. I think we'll be okay. I tried to be greedy before, but we really do just need to set up in the... set up our power in the back, and we'll be okay. Like, we're going to be doing 300 damage 6 times each turn. It'll do a lot of work for us. That's the one that goes. Okay, so let's kill you so we don't have to take spike damage. We are getting to the point very shortly where we're going to start collapsing a little bit as one unit after another starts dying. But I think we'll still be able to make it work. Unfortunately, taking the 17 damage from Divinity on all our units every turn does really hurt. It's a little bit offset by all of the Bogflies and gaining 6 HP a turn. But nonetheless, it's a lot. Ultimately, though, doesn't matter as we hit for a whole lot in return. Ta-da! Ta-da! There we go. Yeah. I know, but I will never tell. Good on you, Prototype. Good on you. Alright, well, that was a run. That was pretty fun. Again, it was a bit messy. We did not end up with the sort of team I was trying to create. I definitely was gearing myself hoping to get, like, Keeper of Echoes or something. And while the eggs are normally very strong units, and it was still good there, I having to waste a lot of our armor on hatching the eggs was a problem. Also, I invested in getting like extra capacity, which didn't end up mattering too much. I ended up with more capacity than I needed. Yada yada yada. It still worked fine. It's just that there are way better things that could have been done. It's just that we didn't get what I was hoping for, which is fine. But there we are. Also, if I had any way to recur consume cards, or any reliable way to have made more of my echo breaks into consume cards, would have been very helpful. But like a single Wormkin etchings or a broken memories, especially since we were offered spell chain like 3 times or whatever, would have been very useful. Regardless, there we go. That was a run. We're stopping there for the night because it is 2-something, and that means that I don't want to start another run. I mean, I kind of do because I like playing Monster Train, but I have other things I should do, so I'm going to do those. It feels like it's not the end of the week, but it is because I skipped yesterday because it was Christmas. So I'll be gone for the weekend like normal. We'll be back on Monday. We'll probably play more Monster Train. Who knows? I feel like there's something I wanted to check out. Couldn't tell you what it is. I feel like this is a very common occurrence. Who knows? Regardless, probably playing Monster Train because it's fun. Anyways, have a nice weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Laters.